Picture this. You paid $130 for Apple's own clear case last year. You put it on your iPhone 17 Pro, and half the back of your phone was covered by a white rectangle. A white rectangle on a clear case. Apple called it a design choice. The internet called it something else. Well, today, leaks suggest Apple might actually be reversing it, and that's not even the most interesting part of what just dropped, because alongside the case news, the iPhone 18 Pro's four colors just got confirmed by physical hardware, not renders, not Pantone codes from a supply chain source, actual camera components in the actual colors. And there's one of those four shades that I think is going to move a lot of units this September. I'll tell you which one and why, but in a minute. This is a leaks-only video. Nothing here is confirmed by Apple, but the sources behind today's news have a track record that's hard to ignore. We're talking Macworld supply chain contacts, Weibo leakers who call the iPhone 14's yellow color months early, and physical camera components that just showed up online. So here's what we're covering: the four colors coming to the iPhone 18 Pro, the clear case situation, and what it actually means for buyers, the dynamic island update that's still not settled, and the one upgrade that is genuinely new for this generation. Let's go. So, the colors, multiple leakers, multiple sources, and now physical camera components all point to the same four-color lineup for the iPhone 18 Pro and Pro Max: silver, dark gray, cloud blue, and dark cherry. Dark cherry is the headline. And here's the thing about dark cherry. It's been described by leakers as a mix of burgundy, coffee, and deep purple. Not a bright red, not cosmic orange with a filter on it. More like if a very expensive bottle of wine had a titanium finish, which is either going to sound perfect to you or make absolutely no sense until you see it. Compare it to last year's cosmic orange, which was polarizing, to put it generously, and dark cherry reads as a deliberate correction. Apple is apparently shifting away from bold and daring toward premium and sophisticated. Whether that's more or less exciting depends entirely on you. The cloud blue is being compared to the old Sierra blue from the iPhone 13 Pro era. A little more saturated than last year's mist blue. Expect that one to be popular. Dark gray is almost black, and silver is silver, because of course it is. Now, one important caveat. These colors are still in development. Mass production hasn't started yet. Apple has dropped planned colors before. Last year's black and steel gray never made it past the testing phase. So 4 announced does not mean 4 released. Okay, let's talk about the case situation, because this is the part of today's news that is genuinely more interesting than the color leaks. When Apple launched the iPhone 17 Pro clear case last year, they replaced the traditional circular MagSafe ring with a large opaque white rectangle that covered most of the back panel on a clear case, a case literally called clear. The response was not great, and today, leaked images of third-party iPhone 18 Pro cases show that design is apparently being reversed. The cases are showing a horseshoe or ring-style MagSafe design, open in the middle, leaving the back of the phone actually visible, which is what clear case has always meant until last year. Now, to be fair, these are third-party cases designed around what leakers expect Apple to do. They don't confirm Apple's first-party design. But here's what's telling. Third-party manufacturers base their tooling on supply chain intel. They don't guess. Getting it wrong costs real money. So if third-party makers are going back to the ring design, they likely have a reason to believe Apple is too. If true, it's a small change that fixes an annoying problem, which is genuinely Apple's specialty. Here's where it gets a little murky. Most rumors have pointed to a significantly smaller dynamic island on the iPhone 18 Pro. We're talking roughly 35% smaller. The reason? Apple is reportedly moving some Face ID sensor components under the display, which would free up a lot of real estate at the top of the screen. That's a real quality of life improvement, not just for aesthetics, but because live activities and dynamic island notifications would have more room to breathe. But one supply chain source recently said Apple is still testing two options. Option A is the smaller dynamic island with under display Face ID. Option B is reusing the same screen mold from last year, same screen mold from last year. So this is still a coin flip, and it matters, because if Apple goes with option B, the new design is mostly color changes and camera upgrades, which honestly might still be enough. Depending on what that camera does, this is the thing nobody's talking about enough. Apple is reportedly introducing a variable aperture main camera on the iPhone 18 Pro. Let me explain what that means, because it sounds technical and boring, and it is neither. Right now, every iPhone camera has a fixed aperture. The lens opens to one specific width. That's it. In bright light, in dim light, same opening. The software compensates for everything else. Variable aperture means the lens physically changes how wide it opens. More light when you need it. Tighter focus in bright conditions. This is something professional cameras have had forever, and it's something Android phones have started experimenting with. Apple has never done it. The main sensor is reportedly getting bigger too, which means even before you factor in the variable aperture, you're already capturing more light information than before. Together, this could be the biggest iPhone camera upgrade in several years. And that's the reason to care about the iPhone 18 Pro, not the colors, not even the clear case, this camera. Quick round of everything else confirmed or heavily rumored: the A20 Pro chip, built on TSMC's 2 nanometer process. Rumored 15% performance improvement over the A19 Pro. More importantly, better efficiency, which means longer battery life without a bigger battery. The design is mostly the same externally, same 6.3 inch and 6.9 inch display sizes. Slightly, and I mean slightly, larger footprint. 0.36 millimeters taller, 0.39 millimeters wider. Your current iPhone 17 Pro cases will technically not fit, which feels like a very intentional 0.36 millimeters titanium frame. Again, which is fine. Titanium is still great. And the rear glass is apparently getting a more seamless finish with less visible color difference between the glass and the frame. That two-tone look on the iPhone 17 Pro, potentially gone. So, should you be excited? Here's my honest take. If you're on an iPhone 16 Pro or older, this is shaping up to be a meaningful upgrade. Variable aperture camera, a 20 Pro chip, potentially smaller dynamic island, genuinely new colors. If you're on an iPhone 17 Pro, the colors are nice. The camera improvement is real, but nice and real probably don't add up to a new phone. Wait and see on the dynamic island. That decision alone changes the calculus, and if you were one of the people who bought the 17 Pro clear case and then stared at that white rectangle in quiet disbelief, Apple may have heard you. 4 months until September. More leaks are coming. I'll cover every one. What color are you going with? Dark cherry, cloud blue, or are you the dark gray person, which means you just want black but won't admit it? Let me know.